Oh, hello YouTube. Today in the Naughty Librarian, I am doing a review of the Daughter and Smoke and Bone series by Laini Taylor. So, I read this whole series in a month because I just kind of like chugged them down. Like I read them like one after another, and I wanted to get through the whole series because it became a challenge to do so. And they're very long. They're like 600-page books. Like these are a challenge. I think the nicest way to put it is to say I didn't think the series got better as it went along. There, I said it, okay? I said it. To start off, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. And it's very lyrical and dreamlike, and it's a really, really cool, interesting concept that I hadn't seen before. It was strange because it didn't make a lot of sense, but like it made so little sense that like it flipped back around to making sense again. And the things that I really, really, really loved about Daughter and Smoke and Bone weren't things that were continued on throughout the other two books of the series. Like I felt like Daughter of Smoke and Bone had this like lively spirit and energy and maybe like a dash of optimism to it, whereas the rest of the series, Days of Blood and Starlight and Dreams of God and Monsters, just got very dark and maudlin, and it just like it drained all of like the spirit out of it that I really enjoyed in Daughter of Smoke and Bone. The things that I wasn't too fond of in Daughter of Smoke and Bone were the things that they really like played up in the next books. So I think this is like maybe a me problem. Days of Blood and Starlight really took a turn for the bleak. Just kick a hero while she's down. Oh my gosh. I was like hoping to get that, you know, beautiful inscrutable magic that I got in Daughter of Smoke and Bone, but instead I got a really bleak war story that just had no hope in it, and it made me, it just bummed me out. Like I was hoping for like that wonderful spirit, and it just like the spirit died, and it was so dark and violent. And then you get to the finale of the series, Dreams of Gods and Monsters, and like this is over 600 pages long. Like it didn't need to be. It really didn't. Like this could have been at least 100 pages shorter, and I think it would have been excellent. It's just so drawn out that you're just like, ugh, get to the point. Oh my gosh. They also introduced this brand new side plot with a new character named Eliza, and I didn't see what this character added to the story. I don't want to be spoilery, but basically Eliza shows up and she's like the center of some new catastrophe that's going to be befalling the Chimera and the Seraphim because, you know, their whole war and genocide thing wasn't enough apparently. And that's the thing, you go in and you know like there's like going to be a war story, and that's going to be accomplished, like cleared up over by the end of the series because that's the goal. And then when you introduce Eliza, she like introduces a whole new problem that they don't address like at all by the end of the series. This is the finale. You don't just drop like a game changer on the audience's lap and say like, okay, bye, I'm never talking about this again. You can think about it forever. I wish they just didn't put Eliza in at all. That whole other storyline could have just been eliminated, and I think it would have actually been better. They would have gotten to the point faster. It didn't add much to the story in my opinion. So, we need to talk about this insta-love thing between Akiva and Karou, because it seems to be the focus of like the entire series. And I don't get it. Like this is an OTP that I did not want to get together. Like I did not see it. I didn't get why Akiva was so great. I didn't get why they should be together. Like realistically, they don't know each other. They know each other 0%. And like, okay, I'm gonna get into some spoilers here. So if you don't want to know any spoilers, perhaps this is where you should stop watching the video. So, Akiva was in a relationship with Madrigal, who was Karou in a past life, because they get reincarnated. Well, not reincarnated necessarily, they just get like resurrected in new bodies. So her previous body was Madrigal, and now she's Karou. He was with Madrigal for like a month. he's been with Karu for like maybe a week. So they've known each other for like 5 weeks and they're desperately in love with each other. And it's like, how? You don't know anything about each other. I don't understand. Like, ugh. Why is it so insta-lovey? It's not even like a good one. It makes no sense. Their whole attraction to each other is just based on the fact that they can't be together. Like, if they could be together with no problems, I don't think they would have bothered. I think the whole, like, appeal to each other was, like, the hardships they were gonna face and, like, how they had to overcome it. And it's like, why am I reading so many pages of you guys not being together when you're supposed to be the main couple? Just be together. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I got tired of them not being together. Like, they got to a point where they could have been, and it was just like, they're still not. If I had to read one more scene about a longing-filled stare from across a crowded room, like, I was gonna strain my eyeballs by rolling them so hard. All of that being said, they also have some big problems in the relationship that I don't see how they could be easily overcome. Like, for example, Akiva basically murdered her entire family and committed genocide against her people. So, I mean, at least to me, I feel like that's a deal breaker. And I get it. Akiva was destroyed when Madrigal died and he wanted revenge. But it's like, you know what? A lot of people experience grief without committing genocide. Just saying. I know I'm the minority here. Everyone freaking loves Akiva and Karu being together, but I just don't get it. I didn't like them. Like, I didn't even think Akiva was the best guy in the book. They also throw in a love triangle with Ziri, and he's the poor, unfortunate end of the triangle. Another example of this unfortunate end of the love triangle is Jacob and Twilight, where if you really think about it, like, objectively, he's probably the better choice of the two. I think Karu would have been far happier with Ziri. Like, I was rooting for her to get with Ziri the whole time because Ziri is lovable and loyal and I loved him to bits and I wanted them to be together. He deserved better. Oh my gosh. But, you know, in the end, they're gonna hook him up with someone else because everyone loves his character so much that, like, no one wants to see him heartbroken. And that's the obvious trajectory that they're gonna do it in. And, of course, that happens. Like, it was very obvious that they're gonna, by the end of the series, or he's gonna be set up with someone else, so he'll be happy. Because everyone likes him, they don't want him to be unhappy. But realistically, Akiva should have been kicked to the curb. She should have just got with Ziri. I didn't understand why she was, like, trying so hard for a guy who just, like, wasn't worth it. Yeah, there's just a lot of problems and plot holes. And, like, in the first book, I didn't mind it because it was so full of beautiful magic and it made no sense so much that it made perfect sense, and I really enjoyed it because it felt like a dream. You know, like in dreams where, like, nothing makes sense but it's like okay and you go with it. That's Daughter of Smoke and Bone. But then as it progresses, it just got so bleak, and that's what hurts me about it because they started off so good and then it just kept getting worse for me. So that I don't know, I kind of feel disappointed in it right now. I don't want to do a video when I feel disappointed, but that's what I did. However, if I do average up all of the scores I gave each individual book, they still get like an 80%. So overall, still a pretty good series. It gets a solid B. So I would still recommend reading it. Other people might be more lenient in the insta-love and the love triangle than I am, but, like, I just didn't get it. Like, what part of Akiva and Karu were supposed to be something I was gonna root for? Like, if it was there, I missed it. If you have read this series, please let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. Which book was your favorite of the series? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What's your favorite parts? Are you an Akiva fan? Because I just wasn't. I'm sorry. Let me know down below. I want to know what you thought about these books. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I will see you guys soon. Bye!